animals to procreate. It's already built in. It's already built in. Natural processes, right? But it's not the purpose. If something is already built in, it doesn't tell you what the purpose of this living is.
Well, that is the reason it's built in. Because this is the only reason it's built in, so that the life can survive.
For what reason? Exactly.
Just to survive.
No. Just to survive is not the reason. Survival is the process.
You know what, I think I'm going to let you two carry on, okay?
Have you read the Quran?
I have not. Can I read it online?
You can read it online.
Okay. Is it obviously English translation?
English translation available. Read multiple translations. So what you will see is if you read in a topical way, what's the concept of God? Our purpose is how we should be living. Prophets. What happens after we die? Is that the end of it? Is there such a thing called justice? And if there is there such a thing called hellfire and paradise? If you understand these concepts first about God, about the role of prophethood, about the hereafter, and your purpose in this life, you will see that you will find a direction. And next time we talk, we can have a discussion on that. Okay, Brad?
Mansur? Yeah, take it.
What's your name? Najib. You're a Muslim? What religion are you? If I you don't have a religion. Do you know all this came by a creator or not? Do you believe in a creator? I don't. You don't believe in it. Okay. So what gave us life? We say God gave us life. The creator gave us life.
It's one of many gods.
There are not many gods. There is only one God. If there were many gods, what would we expect?
I would support it by that in so many religions.
Okay, let's.
If there is not many religions in the world, if there's one religion, then I would have a strong chance of believing. But because there's so many religions and so many different gods, I guess probably more than 5,000 gods.
Let's take this rationally, right? If there are more than one God, we can take two to begin with and see what we expect. The concept of God that we have is
we are first assuming some gods or a god exists. Then we are coming.
It's not assuming. This is the conclusion that we arrive at.
We haven't arrived at a conclusion of whether a god exists or not.
So, do you believe?
But we can look into it first.
Okay.
You can establish that first, and then we can come back to that.
So, to understand the concept of more than one God and how rational it is.
Rational would be a thing that is.
It needs to make sense to you.
Your or my rationality.
It needs to make sense to both of us.
Not in a rationality of a higher being, right?
It needs to make sense to us, right? Agreed?
Yeah.
It needs to make sense to us. The concept of God or the creator is such that God is the creator of all this cosmos.
I have a question over here in the beginning. If there's a God or multiple gods, does they have to make sense to us rationally?
Everything needs to make sense to us in some degree or another.
According to our rationality, does a God need to make sense?
Anything in our life, to some degree or another, it has to make sense to us. Otherwise, you might be saying, look, am I awake or not?
It's not.
Are you awake?
No, this is not. I'm not going on that side. I'm just asking a simple question. Like, you're trying to establish about one God or multiple gods. But before we do that, you put a condition that it has to come into our rationality.
It needs to make sense.
It needs to make sense. It has to be rational, which means according to our rationality, right? So is it a condition? Is it a condition that a God has to satisfy?
It's not God satisfying. It's in our discussion.
But then,
if we are discussing about an external entity outside of ourselves, you and me, right? Whether this is true.
Let's say that entity, whichever we are trying to explain, if he's in another dimension or he has different powers or ways of working that we don't know, you and I don't know, it might seem unrational to us, right?
There are
It might
some
be
elements,
the way the God works, right?
but there are some elements that you will have to conclude based on the reality that you see. Yeah?
That is fine, but we cannot then put this condition that God has to satisfy rationality, or multiple God has.
No.
God has
Not God satisfying rationality. We are using our brains to conclude.
So, let's
And
agree on that.
our speculations
So why
from
don't
this
Why don't you go
thinking,
So,
our speculations of what we think God should be, or God is going to be, will be confirmed by revelation or guidance or messages directly from this God.
the revelation will come much later.
Yeah, I say confirmation comes.
So let's do you think is it reasonable to agree that the only way to decide between good and bad, or right religion and wrong religion, or if there's a religion or not, is our rationality and our five senses? Or do we have another thing apart from that?
Let's understand.
As a
How
human-
many
as
senses
human,
do we
I'm
have?
asking this.
Okay, for us to understand something, conclude something, what are the tools that we have?
Sense of touch, sense of hearing, seeing, smelling.
Five senses.
Smelling, five senses.
Anything else?
And a brain to make sense of those, interpret those signals.
That's all I'm asking. In this discussion, use those to arrive at a sound
Not in just
conclusion.
this discussion. Let's all aspects of our life.
Of course.
Because
But
these
in
are
this
the only
discussion-
tools we have, right? So if I 100% agree that these are only tools we have. We have nothing else. So if these tools lead us on a path that is not right, technically that will be our fault because these are the only tools we have, right? Okay, let's go on.
So, talking about the concept of multiple creators, if we are believing in a concept or we're thinking there's a
But
concept of
we're jumping the
let's
point.
jump.
We're jumping
Do you
the point.
accept that you exist? You are something and I'm something,
Yeah, human beings.
Something too.
Yeah, exactly. And he's a human
right?
being. All of us are human beings.
Could there be a time in the past where there was absolute nothingness?
It could be. It could be. We don't know.
Let me explain to you what I mean by absolute nothingness. Absolute nothingness is the absence of everything. So there is no something. There are no senses. There is nothing within this nothingness. No energy.
But this is
No consciousness.
this is nothing you are defining, right?
I'm explaining to you.
This is nothing you are defining. It could be your opinion.
Do you agree with that?
It could be a scientist's opinion.
Sure. Do you agree with my definition?
But what I'm saying, because you see, if you make a claim, I don't have to agree with it straight away. I have to look into it. I have to see how the
So
things
now I'm
are.
asking you, the nothingness that I'm describing,
But the point I'm trying to explain over here is you must also take it just as an opinion and not as conclusive proof or something. It could be a different nothing. It could be a nothing.
the
a
nothing
part
that
of
I'm
reality.
postulating to in this discussion is this. It is the absence of everything.
So if this nothing does not exist, but another nothing exists, where there's, let's say maybe
It's not another nothing. Define what is another nothing.
it could be thousands many nothings. We
Such
don't
as,
know.
define
Okay,
each of your nothings.
let's say there's a nothing where there's space,
That's not nothing.
no time.
That's not nothing. That's something.
It could be something. It could be nothing.
That's not nothing.
You see,
No, straight away I will disagree with you. That's something. That's not nothing.
Make it clear.
there is no such thing as absolute nothing.
So the concept you understand, right?
To the concept that I understand,
Good. So that's what I'm saying. There's absolute nothingness which cannot really exist, is the absence of something and everything.
not everything. How would you say everything?
That nothing which doesn't exist is the absence of everything. It doesn't have anything at all.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. So that nothing you understood.
But it has still something in it. That nothing still
what?
has something in
What
it.
does
It
it
has
have?
quantum reality.
No, that's something. That's not nothing.
But this is how it does.
No, I am telling you about a concept which I am asking you to consider.
There's-
Not what you're trying to put forward an argument to then you know.
Let's go about it. You see, there's one nothing that you presented. That's one nothing. That I
But your
presented.
nothing, I disagree, it's something.
That is
So
fine.
deal with my nothing.
That is fine. You have the right to disagree. But what I'm trying to say over here is,
Are you going to deal with my nothing?
okay, whatever that nothing that you say,
Did you understand what my concept of nothing
you
was?
said there's absolute nothing. There's not even space, not even time, not
Right.
even quantum particles.
Sure.
Okay.
So-
Let's say if there's a nothing like yours exists.
From this nothing, can you get something?
If that nothing exists, maybe not. I don't know. This is the whole point. I don't know.
If that nothing has nothing in it, has no energy, no power, no quantum fluctuations, no hadrons, no gluons, no leptons. We're talking about absence of everything. It cannot produce anything.
Okay. You see, what you're saying now is based on your rationality, on the observations that you're seeing, right? Or are you coming from a different universe?
Are you now trying to?
Are you coming from a different universe?
No. Are you not trying to engage with the discussion?
I am trying to engage with the discussion.
So look, the nothing that I've tried to make you conceptualize is a nothing by definition cannot make something.
Okay, the nothing that you're trying to define.
Not trying, I've already defined it.
But the nothing that you have defined, we don't know nothing about that nothing, right?
I just gave you what this nothing in my example is.
It could be or it could not be.
It's not about could be. I'm saying if we have a concept like this, clearly something like you and me cannot originate from that nothingness.
How would you know? This is the point. How would you know?
I just told you. Because that nothing, as I've defined, cannot produce anything.
How would you know? That's the whole point. Until you have some equation, some proof of it. That look, this nothing.
I've given you the proof.
How is it?
Okay. What do the rocks dream of? Do they dream of something?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
But
I don't know for sure.
So you know
that's the whole point.
Do you know for sure anything?
I know for sure that I exist.
Are you sure about that?
I know for sure this whole world exists.
Are you sure about that? How are you sure?
Through my senses.
Senses. But you could be a brain in a jar, having this.
Could be. Could be.
So you're not sure then? When you say could be, then you're not sure. So, are you sure about anything?
Yes, I my existence.
No. You could be a brain in a jar, or alternatively, a computer simulation. But you think you're actually speaking to me in Speaker's Corner.
Well, that's the whole point. That the only,
how can you be sure?
I'm telling you now. That only way I can be sure is through what I experience, right? Through my senses. Through
so
my
you didn't
brain.
understand my argument?
I understood. Now let me proceed with it. Now when through these senses, when I'm trying to make the sense of the whole world, I'm presented with our religion and another religion and another religion, right? Which have their own concept of nothingness, right? You have a concept of nothingness according to your religion where there was nothing. Maybe a Hindu has a concept of nothingness where there is Krishna and he came into being and he created everything, and there's another concept and then there's another concept. So there's not just one nothing. There could be many nothings where many gods could come in and create the universe, right? What my concern is, based on my senses, on rationality, what concept of this universe that I can make, which is good for me and for the whole universe, for the people living around me, for the universe. Not something that is just a philosophical child of somebody's mind and not good for anything in the whole world. You understand? If we go by what you're trying to do, we have seen this happen in Middle East, in Islamic world. These philosophical discussions going on throughout the history, not producing any fruitful results. But when we turn to science over here, you understand, through this concept that okay, let's only go by what rationale tells us.
I understand your
and try to make concept. If we go through this process, we can have evidence that could be tested in India or in Afghanistan.
Just clarify one thing.
Yeah.
Are you dreaming now or awake? How do you know?
So as I said, through my senses.
Okay, I'll tell you. Have you ever had a dream? In your dream, did you really think that you are there having that experience through your senses? Were you really having the experience that you were in a beach in Hawaii or whatever?
Yep.
But you weren't there physically, were you?
Exactly.
So you did not physically experience any of these things. But in your dream, you were what? Deceived.
Okay.
Hang on.
That's
the question. No, the question is about reality. Now, you said you are sure about the reality. In your dream, you felt real, but it wasn't real.
No.
So how are you sure that you're not dreaming right now?
This is my whole point. This is what I'm trying to explain to you over here. Whatever happened in the dream is not going to help me anyway.
That's the point. The point is about how do we establish reality? Because you said, our experiences. So when I gave you an example of nothingness, for some reason, I know you're an intelligent man, you realize that nothingness cannot make something like you. So you are not willing to engage with that nothingness. And instead, you're putting forward.
You are trying to ask me a question about something that you've just explained to me. That I don't know whether it exists the way you are trying to explain to me. And then you're trying to put like properties to that universe or that nothingness, which we have no proof of, which you just thought of.
When you say proof, do you have proof of anything? No. Evidence of anything. No. I challenge you to bring forward proof of anything for anything in this reality. Okay, now hang on. This chain, what's it made of?
Silver.
What's your proof that it's silver?
Silver falls through its atoms.
What's the proof it's silver? Have you seen silver atoms?
I've read about it.
You've read about it.
And I have the properties. I know the properties of silver. Silver is a metal.
Wait. You do not. Have you seen the atoms of silver?
I don't have to see it.
So that particular chain.
You can call it gold.
No.
You can call gold silver. Right. It does not matter. The name does not matter.
I want to show to you the level of evidence that you operate with. Okay. That particular piece of chain made of silver, you have not put under a chemical test to determine it's silver, have you? You've taken testimonies of other people.
Seller's word for it.
Testimonies of other people. And that counted as an evidence to you. It wasn't your experience. Do you see where we're going now? It wasn't your experience that determined the conclusion of your accepting something. Simply testimony of others led you to accept, that's fine. If I told you, I accept the testimony of people, trustworthy people, all the way going back to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, that he received revelation from God, that we are created for a purpose and the Quran is a revelation, you would have no quarrel with me using the same standard that you're using of testimony. I don't have to experience directly seeing God. Do you agree or disagree?
Now this chain, the person I bought it from, he said silver.
Testimony.
His testimony. What I did, I came back, I tested it.
Tested it with what?
I wore it on. Right? It had a color. Let's say the color faded, it was not silver. For example, how do I know it's silver? Okay, silver is a metal. It has this properties.
Will it be platinum?
Let's say silver has this properties, right? Now when I come back home, let's say it's not silver, and I've been conned it's a cheap metal. The color is going to wear off, right?
What is a precious metal but not silver?
Then the guy is a moron who sold it to me for cheap.
But then you are still unsure that this is silver.
But
you've only taken by testimony, you've accepted it as enough for you to accept this is silver.
What I'm trying to say over here is, for silver, I have a standard set by some people, which me, which the whole point over here is which me and everybody in the world agrees with. You understand? Nobody tested it.
I'll tell you why I don't understand.
So this is not silver.
Raju, let me tell you what I don't understand. Your level of accepting of evidence is own experience, your senses. That's the tools. But you have accepted the words and testimonies of someone as proof. For example, have you done an image scan of your pancreas? Does it exist? Are you sure about it? What's the proof?
Can you probably scan me?
No.
Now you can scan me for it now.
You see, you're saying I can prove it, but that's not the proof.
But
this is a hope that it exists. So you haven't proven it already, have you?
Hold on. Let's say, let's not debate this one. Let's go
That's
by.
important.
Let's go by the testimony.
No.
Let's come back to the testimony. Let's go by the testimony.
Do you know why?
For a second, let's go by the testimony. You are advocating it. Let's go by it for a second.
I'm not advocating it. I'm saying you accept it.
You are advocating the testimony. Let's go by it. So you say some guy said to Muhammad, right?
No. You misunderstood my argument.
Like proper.
No, you misunderstood. So I have to clarify to you. You put forward the level of acceptability of proof. If there's a testimony, it's sufficient. That's your level of acceptability.
This is what I'm trying to tell you, sir. Just the testimony is not sufficient.
Okay, see, what did you do for your chain?
With the silver.
Yeah, what did you do?
You see, with the silver, it's just a small part of my life, right? I would spend 30 or 50 pounds to buy it. I wouldn't think much about it. But when I'm trying to spend my life...
Did you prove it's silver?
Listen, when I'm trying to spend my life, or when I'm trying to make sense of the whole world, I have to go by something very different. That is the whole point. I would pay much more attention to the concept of the world than to a chain, right?
Do you notice one thing though?
Let's go by.
We are going by principles. We are establishing the principles which we use to accept
exactly.
truth.
Let's translate that principle there.
My example of a chain is just a mundane example to illustrate this principle.
I'm trying to tell you here. Let's put that principle on another example. If somebody is born in India and hears the testimony of a pandit that his way of life is right, yeah. He goes about his way of the world thinking that this is how the world is created, right? In another part of the world, it's different. Through the same process of testimony, what you're saying, what you're trying to advocate,
I am not advocating.
What you're saying,
Can you stop saying that, please?
Okay, listen.
Right? I am not advocating testimony here because my argument of testimony is a different way of argumentation. I just pointed that it is your argument. Testimony was what you are advocating.
This one chain does not represent the whole way of my perception of the world, right?
Sure.
Let me tell you something.
Before you tell me, have you seen your brain?
So again, the same thing. The same thing with,
it's not about
with the pancreas, with the brain.
The reason why I'm saying this, I'll tell you why the reasons. I know you want to make a point, but I'll give you the opportunity now. What I'm saying, everything in your body, internal organs, if you haven't done imaging through CT or an X-ray or an ultrasound or an MRI or a PET scan, whatever, right? You wouldn't have seen it inside, right? Because it's inside them. You can't have X-ray vision with your own eyes. So you need these tools to see what's inside. So you go by what you call common sense. That yes, I have a brain because I'm thinking, right? Or I must have a brain. I must have a liver. I must have all of this. You haven't got any solid proof that you actually have them. You assume that you do based on what? Some reasoning.
In the beginning, did we not agree that these five senses and the brain is the only thing we have to judge between right and wrong? Did we not agree on that point?
Your question was never about right and wrong. So you've just introduced a new
and
question.
The religion. Okay.
No.
Okay,
the question was about
delete this.
To understand the reality. This is the tools that we have.
One religion or another. One religion or another.
To understand reality. This is the tools that we have.
Okay.
Tools. Right.
This is what we agreed on in the beginning. So I don't understand the whole circle of this coming back to the same point that these are the only tools we have to judge between one.
Tools that we use, agreed. But
between truth and false.
Yeah, but tools that we agreed to understand the reality. For example,
I don't understand the whole point of this.
Yeah, sure. The whole point is simple. Principles that you use, of the levels of acceptability of evidence. Because you seem to have problems in accepting, for example, God. If I were to give you a principle, the reasons why God must exist because we exist. If there was no God, there would be nothing. And you'd say, I don't accept that. I need to explain to you the processes, principles.
Coming back to the previous thing, again it's going to be a circle because we're going to come back to this point that we have only five senses and our mind to judge between
How do you know only five
right
senses?
and wrong.
I'm going to question it. No, I'm questioning.
I have no other senses.
No, I am questioning. Look, I'm going to now.
You see, since I was born.
Excuse me.
As I said.
You are, but when you say I have only five senses.
I agree with you. There has to be something.
Exactly.
For example, you quantify what we may have different measurements,
Agreed.
but this world is now on the basis of what you're saying. For example, we can't see our brain, we can't see our pancreas, that there's, we can't do it. No. Or the fact is that the fact that we can't see our own heart is purely based on reason. It isn't. The difference is this can be measured in a scientific way, in a way which we can improve. Whereas a level of, say, difference of saying that is what you call wire chain, say, as regards to there's a difference because one can be measured
can be. But the question is, when you have already accepted something or rejected something, have you actually done that? You haven't. So based on, for example, I mean, some people may have taken their appendix away, right? And imagine now this gentleman, right? He has no appendix. You say, of course he has an appendix. You're just assuming that because everyone has an appendix. So what is the level of evidence that one needs to have to accept?
But on that to say is, even though we may not have a strong evidence at the moment, it can be checked, it can be measured, other aspects can't in terms of what you're saying.
The point I was trying to make is this, about how does he reject or accept the concept of multiple creators or a creator.
It's not black and white.
It's not about black and white question, it's about which makes sense. Which makes sense, right? If we have something in existence, I said there couldn't have been a time in the past where there was absolutely nothing. Okay? And of course, Najibullah was saying that, you know, there could be many thousands of nothing. I said, look, nothing that I am explaining to you, postulating to you, something, is which is absolute nothingness. But absolute nothingness cannot make something. So we could not have been a result of absolute nothingness. That makes sense. So if there was, if that means there has to be always something there. There cannot be absolute nothingness in the past at all. There has to be always something, always. So if there is always something, what is the nature of this always? Is something. And I said this is the creator who has always been in existence. That is the evidence.
This is another assumption you're putting on again, it's going to be an assumption that you put on for your God. It's going to be an assumption another man's going to be putting on this for their God, and it's not going to do any of us any good.
There is only one God. There cannot be more than one God. No, I'm saying there cannot be more than one God.
We don't know.
Okay.
We don't know. Nobody knows.
Let me give you an example.
Whether
we're using our senses, right? If there are two gods who are absolute, and one of them says, Mansur, totally disappear from existence, annihilation. And another God says, no, I actually like this guy. I want him to live for another 100 years.
It's something
so
that
what's going to happen? Possibilities. Possibilities. Either the absolute God, which is all powerful by definition, absolutely all powerful, wants me to be totally annihilated from existence. You should be able to do that.
What if
so
they
I'm
both
no
have
longer.
the same agenda? Let's say what if they both have the same agenda? Same agenda. The quarrel is between. You're trying to.
Let me tell you what an absolute God is.
I know, I'm telling
An
you,
absolute being.
But he's going to come back. You know, bro, you're going to come back to this. That we have five senses. The whole point of.
Can I finish my point?
You see, there's one nothing that you found. As I told you before, this nothing has been tested many of years before.
By who?
By Aristotle, by Socrates, by.
You can't test this. It's not a testable something that you can
when I say tested, I mean like through their mind, they exercised on it, they thought about it, they argued about it. What I'm saying over here, when we come to 16th century, when we come to this scientific method, we found a way that the reality you explain, we have evidence for it, so you can test it, I can test it, everybody can test it.
So you've already limited yourself by scientific methodology or a concept which is methodological.
Again, with coming to your previous point, as you have me out here, that my pancreas could be tested. My mind,
nothing. You see how, brother, how can I continue understanding your point? You are shifting from a material thing like your pancreas to a metaphysical thing, a concept of nothing. A concept of nothing cannot be tested in any laboratory by any methodology of science.
I don't disagree with that.
Then you cannot use the methodological tools science employs to test nothing.
Nobody says over here, we are testing nothing. We can test nothing.
Okay, right.
But we can sort of
Anything like
my point was, there are different levels and types of yes. You cannot just use a particular type of scientific method, the only accepted evidence, or what my 5 senses are. Because there can be mathematical proofs, there can be intellectual proofs, rational proofs, and we use not necessarily scientific. Not necessarily scientific.
They are the basis. They translate into scientific truth.
Not always. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying when we have this concept about absolute creators, if they were absolute creators, they're absolute in their will. They don't compromise. They say, oh,
How would you know?
that's what an absolute creator
That's how we feel.
No,
That we don't
that's
compromise.
what an absolute creator is, absolute being is. Absolute. If someone is...
If you are an absolute and I'm an absolute, say for example, and we know that we cannot kill each other. Forever, we cannot kill each other. Yeah?
Then how am I absolute if I can't kill you? If I don't have power over everything, how can I be absolute?
Partially absolute, I guess.
Sorry?
Partially absolute.
Then we're not talking about what we're talking about. We're talking about...
Then how would you know that two gods can coexist peacefully and have
They
similar
can,
universe?
you cannot have two...
And they are not absolute.
Let me tell you first of all. The fact is, there has to be something that exists for absolute being.
Okay, let's see.
Has to be absolute.
Why?
Because it always exists.
Another two gods can always exist. Not absolutely, but
Slow down.
two of them. The only condition they have is they cannot kill each other.
We start by the reality. Reality tells us, using our senses...
Who made the reality? One of the gods. So
I don't think you're
they
following
designed the
my
reality. I'm following
the tools that you have, using those tools, and when you look at the reality informs us, and we conclude that there is an absolute existence of something.
I'm not supporting this. Your argument is not supporting this.
Are you suggesting to me that there is this something didn't always exist? Something didn't always exist. There was absolutely nothing as always.
As I said, I don't know, but what's the evidence?
Two options.
What's the evidence?
Najibullah, there's only two options. Either something always existed or something always didn't exist.
There's a
So
third
we can
option.
analyze.
Third option.
Yeah, third
I
is?
don't know.
That's not an option.
It's an option.
Let me tell you why it's not an
I'm trying
option.
to find out.
Okay, let me tell you why it's not an
This is what
option.
science is. Science says I don't know.
I
but
tell you
I'm
why it's not an
looking for
option?
it. It is an option.
Can I tell you why it's not an
Go on.
option? In an exam, when you answer a question and you say, I don't know,
It's not an exam.
excuse me,
How is it an
I'm just
exam?
trying to illustrate a principle of thinking, right? If an exam is there, asking a question, that means it has potential answers. If a question does not have potential answers, it's not a question. Do you follow that? A question, by definition, if it doesn't have potential answers, and if it does become free from internal contradictions, it's not a question at all. It's a rhetorical statement.
Okay, that's
Question, by definition, has to be free from internal contradiction and has to have potential answers.
okay. So if there's a question,
Has to have answers.
exactly, and then we don't know.
Potential is still there.
No, if you don't know the answer, it's not an answer. If what you're saying is, there is an answer, but I don't know what it is.
How would
So
you
you
know?
are agreeing there is an answer to this question.
But how would you know though?
Yes, so that's the, so a question must have an answer, whether you know it or not.
I'm not too sure.
That
Ever be
potential.
answered.
That's a different question altogether, you see? Pun intended, pun intended. Right. When we have a question, to be a question, it has to have answer to it, whether I know it or not. So as a student, I might not know the answer, or I might not know the right answer, but it has to have an answer, which I say is a potential answer to that. So, when we talk about absolute being, when we talk about, well, then you're not being very rational.
No, I can give a counterpoint.
Go
So
ahead.
you said there's only two options. One option is that there's an answer. One option is that there's not an answer.
How would you mean it? That's the point of potential.
How will
There's still going to be an answer.
exactly there's unanswered questions. I'm not so sure, but there's a few mathematical problems
You may
nowadays.
not know the answer.
It's like you can Google it. But there's many questions that we know that
The reason we're trying to answer them because there is answers to them.
No. This is the whole point.
We don't know them yet.
No.
We'll discover them.
You say there might not be an answer to this. there may be no answer to this.
We may never know. There probably is still an answer. We may never know.
If there was no answer to a question, it's not a question.
How would you say that? Why would you say that?
Okay.
Why would you even say that?
Today is Sunday. What question have I asked?
This is just one question.
No, what question have I asked? Today is Sunday.
You just made a statement. You did not ask a question.
No, I've asked you a question. Answer. Please answer. Today is Sunday.
This is a statement. This is an answer.
Now, I have asked you a question. Today is Sunday. Now, can you answer that? I'm just saying today is Sunday. What question have I asked?
I said you're right. I agreed with you. Even if you asked a question, I agreed with you.
And
And if you didn't ask a question,
what is my question? What is my question? I haven't asked a question, have I?
but you asked you whether you asked a question. You said yes, you are asking a question.
Oh, sorry. What question have I asked?
You said yourself. You said yourself. I asked you it's not a question. You made a statement.
So now
I
you
said-
realize the distinction between statements and questions.
I told you when you asked the question for the
Right.
first time. I said it's a
Good.
statement, sir.
So when we say there are absolute beings, because if something exists now, there has to be the existence of an absolute entity, always. That's the given thing. You can't really question it.
Why not? Why
Okay.
can't you question?
Now, let's take it all the way. If something exists now, two options. Mansur, Rationality.
Listen, let me circles. It's going to be circles. Let's stick to one point and try
That's
to
the one
explain
point
it,
we're trying to achieve.
So our standards, my standards, as you said, is by testimony. Then I was trying to explain to you, look, it's not just testimony. It might be testimony in this minute matter of my life. But when it comes to judging the world, I go by logic, I go by scientific method, I go by evidence. I pay much more attention to it.
Good. That's what we're trying to do.
So then it's not just the testimony of
Absolutely
somebody.
not. I didn't say it is. I'm simply saying, if you bring forward just saying, oh, it's my five senses, the things that I have, and then I brought this example for change that it wasn't your five senses, it was something else. It was the testimony that you accepted without any kind of experimentation.
When I was telling you about my
So we've
senses, I was
cleared
not.
it up. So we have cleared it.
I'm just trying to argue that God's existence is rational, completely rational. And
Other methods.
and any other view is non-existent, irrational.
We can try. That's what I'm trying to do. Saying if something exists now, there has to be always something. So if there was no God, then you have to now come with an explanation about the reality, that the reality can exist without having any prior something. That means you have a concept where there's nothing, and this nothing produces something. So it wasn't nothing in the first place. If nothing produces something, that was something, because you have to have something to produce it. If you have a concept of nothing, like say God nothing. It's a multifaceted. If you have a God, let's call this God nothing, right? This God has no power, no consciousness, no will. Can this God make anything? No energy.
Why not? No, if the God has no energy, how will he exist?
So
How will he exist?
Good. That's take your argument. Let's say this God exists with nothing,
But
right?
then he cannot exist.
Good. So now you realize if you have such a concept of nothingness, this universe could not be the result of such nothingness. That means there is a higher existence who brought this reality in place. And that is what I'm saying is your proof for the existence of God.
The classic argument with argument design is if someone created this
There's no point.
It's easy to understand.
Existential question.
Okay. The question is not about anything that begins to exist requires a cause, or anything that is complex requires a cause. What is it? Because there's people misunderstand this Kalam cosmological argument and various other forms of this. What we are saying is the creator. We are not saying the creator is created. Our concept of creator is uncreated, uncaused. And how do we establish this? We can establish this by reason. Your five senses, your brain, that if we have something now, that's the evidence I'm giving you.
It's not just that.
This.
You're arguing that something has created something. That's what you're arguing.
No, I'm saying this cosmos is created by something that always exists. Now, how do you then question an entity that always exists and say, who made that entity? Because that entity always exists. Your question becomes meaningless.
So
it's not a meaningful question anymore.
The
question has to be meaningful. How do you say, who created the uncreated creator? It doesn't make any sense.
It does.
Because who created the uncreated?
It's a regression. It's an infinite regression.
You already made an assumption.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Not by logical proof.
I just gave you the logical proof. You exist, something has to always exist.
In what? If that something has to always exist in what?
In existence.
In what existence?
So that existence that
in
always
what
exists.
What dimensions he has? Does he have a space-time?
Is not nothingness.
So, here's the jump which made. Something which exists. The jump which you've made that has to be.
I'm saying that something now is an entity that exists always. What are the properties?
How do we know what?
Let's examine what it is now. If something exists always,
but he has to exist in something, right? He has to exist in something.
If something exists always, what are the essential characteristics and properties that something has?
First property would be that he has to exist in something. First property would be that he has to exist in something.
So why in something?
Why not? Do you know an existence out of something?
That's the limitation of our universe.
How would you know? Cosmos. How would you know that he has the?
What we established, the essential characteristics is the existence of this something being. That thing
through
exists.
This rationale, and this rationale tells us that something has to exist in something.
What is
same rationale?
What is okay? Something. When you say something,
through this rationale, you said something exists.
And I say something exists always.
Always exists. And through the same rationale, we have to conclude that something has to exist in something.
When you say in something, let me explain to you what I mean. In somewhere, this place or locus or location is a matter of understanding from what?
Okay, a place.
Philosophy and
a place.
Do you know what?
A place could be something, space and time. A place could be many different things we don't know. So we can say
space.
Okay,
do you know what space is?
Let me just say something. So if this being is maybe in a parallel universe, and he pretends to be, and he has sufficient technology to create a universe, and probably by chance he's been created, or maybe he designed that, so he's an alien. He could be an alien then. How would you undefine it?
I understand what you think. If there is existence in everything you're saying, what makes it? What
makes it God?
No. What I'm saying is there's no end to it.
There's no end to it.
So if there's no end to their argument of existence, by bringing a creator into the argument, it's assuming an end. By logic.
Not assuming an end. The creator, we were saying the creator is the originator of our cosmos. If we have something that exists always, there has to be some essential properties. It has to have properties. It cannot be given power by something else because there is no something else.
I think the point is, if your argument existence then what existed before then? Because there's always has to be.
Let's understand that step by step.
Assuming an infinite end.
Let's understand step by step. Imagine now, this is this something like this point, right? This something, either there is something prior to it, or there isn't.
Are you arguing this is existence?
That existence that always exists, either this is always that particular reality of that existence, or there is something prior to this form. Yeah? Two possibilities. If you have something prior to this form, then it's ad infinitum, it goes on and on, right?
That's what
So let's use that argument. What I'm saying is, whatever that form that is ad infinitum, it has essential properties. Has to have. If it doesn't have essential properties of existence, if it doesn't have essential properties of having energy, then it's not going to produce anything. We won't be here. So it has what we call inherent characteristics.
That's the argument from then.
No. So from inherent characteristics, if it has energy, the energy will be unbound, unrestricted. unlimited, absolute. If it has existence, then this life will be totally unbound, unrestricted. That's the only logical conclusion that you can arrive.
No, there's plenty of others. Let's see. Okay.
Show me otherwise.
I'll show you now. So, a being exists in another universe, in a parallel universe. He has the power. He's just like you and me, common citizen. So he has the technology and the power to create another universe. Now they're so advanced. He creates another universe in another dimension, and he declares himself to be a god, right? So he does not have infinite power now. He does not have infinite power now. His power is limited in his universe. He's just a normal being like you and me. You understand? No, I didn't miss it. You said that's the only reality. I just gave you another one. Just another one. So
let's take your God. Let's take that God.
Let's not even go there. I'm telling
Let's
you.
take that God, right?
I'm telling
that
you.
God didn't have a beginning.
This is a circular argument.
No.
Let me ask you.
I want to understand the concept of God that you provided. That God in a parallel universe didn't have a beginning.
He was born, but now they've discovered.
It's not God.
And now they've discovered.
It's not God.
And now they've discovered. Now they've discovered.
That's not a jump in belief. This is an only rational conclusion.
Let's say that God.
There has to be something always.
Mansur, the God is born, but now they're like undead now, like the immortals. Like they've discovered the technology of
I want to
immortals,
see
and he tells us
what
to
your
believe that
objections
way.
are.
That's not an objection, it's a question. Okay. How is there a jump between the idea of existence from where you are, that everything has an existence, to then the idea of
So I said, this existence that always has to exist. Either it go ad infinitum, or it's the first cause of everything. You cannot escape these options. So what?
From that option, let's say.
From that option.
We go for the infinite. So if we go for the infinite, how would you?
So what I'm saying is, if you go in infinite, that means the more you go, the more powerful that thing is.
And this absolutely.
As you go back in time, the thing that created or originated the other thing that brought this universe is more powerful, and you go back more powerful. See, and you come to a point where the more back in time in Buddhism stuff you go there, you come to a being
Yes, Laura is a very
Sorry, we've argued, hear me. We've argued, just with your definition of existence, there's an infinite end. Now, what you're infinite cause and infinite. What I'm trying to get the answer out of, it's a question, what I'm trying to ask is that we've assumed that there is an infinite start. Why have you assumed that we go further back and becomes more powerful? That by that definition, it's a start.
If there is no start, if it goes on like this, you follow rationally, the more you go back, the more powerful it is. So eventually you're coming to the concept of
constant?
How does it come to a concept of a start?
You have to come to a concept where there has to be a reality which is absolute. Because otherwise, you will not explain any of this limited finite.
And so far,
So there has to be this
There has to be an explanation. We don't know or understand that explanation. Where in which the world we're living is very finite. Why does there have to be an answer right now?
There is an answer, so at least we understand that this reality that exists.
Why do we now have to provide an answer?
Provide the reality is that existent reality which we call created God has only communicated that, saying, okay, I am Allah. Before me there was nothing. After me there was nothing. I alone am just the Most High. So these concepts, they resonate with us. Yes, I can understand that such a thing. Because you cannot have another being before that. There has to be a being like this.
why it has to be.
If you don't have this being,
It has to be put on top. There's so many things that you give without justification.
this being sent prophets and messengers to make us confirm in our intellectual speculation. That's all we were doing. speculative. So when this being sent prophets and messengers and sent guidance from Scripture, like the Quran being the last final one, this confirms that it is from this being.
Let me
So
ask a few questions.
you need to ask
Mansur,
us,
so far-
how do you
Let's go about it.
give evidence that the Quran is from this being?
Let's go.
That's what you should be asking.
Let's go about it. I haven't asked you a question yet. To what you are advocating, I haven't asked you a question. So far, it's just me trying to explain. Now, the whole point.
We're assuming about existence and the idea of there being a start.
Okay. The whole point is that we go by a definition of this world that we can answer, which is answerable as you yourself said. Now, to the beginning, you say somebody created it. I say I don't know. Right? This is the main difference. You say you are sure
Are you
you
willing
know.
to learn?
This, you see this?
I'm willing to learn. But are you willing to know the answer?
No. Here,
Assuming we have the answer.
no, you cannot see something over here. Let me
You assume there isn't. If you assume there isn't, then there's no question.
You see, my point over here is I do not know. This means inherently that I'm willing to learn. I do not know, so I'm willing to learn. What you're doing over here,
Follow, but yes, I follow you.
what does it mean I do not know?
No, there are many people who don't know and they're not willing to learn.
No, that is-
they're stubborn people. But you're not one of them.
Admitting that, you see, one has to admit first that they do not know. Then that is the only way they can
Do you
learn.
care to know?
Sir, this is the...
You do.
Sir, this
But
is
there
the
are
reason.
people, I'm just saying, look, there are people who don't care to know.
That is fine.
So,
That is
let's
fine.
just get past that.
so let's go past and say fine.
Okay,
So you want to
now,
know.
so
How would you know?
my position over here would be that I do not know, right? It opens me a world of possibilities. One could be true.
Sure.
One could
So
be,
now,
right? Now your point
let's
over here.
examine now how would you know. That's the crucial
Let me
point.
say something.
So there you go. This is
But you let me say
How do
something.
we know?
You are saying that you know something. Yeah? And I'm saying I do not know something. Now I can learn because I'm saying I do not know it, so I can learn. But you cannot learn. How would you learn because you know it already? You say you know how universe was made.
I'm speaking very cryptically. If I knew everything,
No, but
then I
you-
have nothing to learn.
Do you know how universe
But
was
do I know
made?
everything? I don't.
Do you know who made the universe?
Yes.
You know it, right? So
Would you be
for
open
me,
to other suggestions?
no, exactly.
Just
now I can learn and you cannot. Because if
You
say-
can put forward
say-
your argument.
No,
but
say,
that's not the question. Would you be open?
If I'm convinced that I'm not a brain in a jar, you can give me all the other options, or maybe a computer simulation. But I'm using the rationality.
there's just two positions over here. One is yours, one is mine. I say I do not know, I'm
I
willing to
am
learn.
saying
You
there
already
are
know the
other
truth, but
possibilities, and we can examine them. But I'm convinced of the possibilities that I have put forward. So I'm saying this Quran is from God and cannot be from other than God. Other than God. So I can give you explanations and reasons and evidence why this is from God, and you can reason with me saying, okay, not convinced, or otherwise. So if you can establish that this book is from God with certainty, then you know. Yeah,
how would you establish this book is from God?
sure.
I'd hope it wouldn't be by the tools of evidence we were debating.
So let's see what tools of evidence is used there.
No, but you have to establish this is the word of God.
Yeah. So how can we establish a book is the word of God? What does the book need to have to provide that level of certainty?
You have to establish the existence of God first. Whom the book came from? Whom the book came from?
If the book itself demonstrates that it cannot be from any being, either on this earth or anyone that you can see, terrestrial, extraterrestrial, then you know it's coming from one of them.
How would you know?
So you believe in aliens without any proof?
I believe in probability of aliens. I
Do
also
you believe in probability of God?
yes,
Good. So if human beings would not be the author of this Quran,
but that would be a very minute probability. But you have to see. You see, there's a probability of 1,000 times. If a flip a coin, there's a probability in 1,000 times that head's gonna come. But that probability would be very, very minute, right? Same with the probability of God. It would be very, very minute. Because the reason I would say is some claims already made in Quran does not justify reality, the evidence. Straight will come up with evolution. We don't need to go by it.
Evolution.
One is evolution.
What evolution is a proof of what?
Evolution is proof of how humans evolve.
Humans haven't evolved. What's your evidence for evolution?
So we're coming back to that testimony thing.
So no, not testimony. Now I'm going to question the very science that you now uphold it without any evidence.
So listen.
So
okay.
when you say humans have evolved from another species prior to the humans. And what is the evidence for that exactly? Fossils. Let's take fossils. So in the fossils, which is like if you go in a mountain and you can see layers, different layers. So I see, this is the layer. These are different layers, right? Yeah? One fossil here, one fossil here, one fossil here. What evidence do you have to say this particular species evolved from this species?
The genetic code.
So now fossil evidence has become genetic code. Okay. So fossils doesn't prove anything because they only show they only show the topology of. They only show the existence of where there are certain species. It doesn't prove you in any way, shape or form that species came from that. I might say that species came from that one.
You cannot say that.
Why not?
Because then genetically it would not be, you won't be able to prove it.
So it's nothing about...
It's all about proof, sir. It's a process. You see, I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up.
Let's talk about genetics now. In genetics, so you have the genetic code of these organisms and the genetic code of these organisms. What is your proof that this organism, this species, came from that using genetics?
So they would have similar genetics.
Similarity doesn't mean one can be
They would have certain traits similar. Look, it's not logical argument. It is just there. You can go and look for yourself. It's not. It's an evidence. It's an evidence.
Part of my.
It's an evidence, sir. And I'm not the only. I'm not propagating it only.
Listen. Genetics. There's a genetic code. All. You can actually get a whole of the genomes and you can quantify that, right? Maybe you have the Human Genome Project, and you can have the whole of the monkey genome, the chimpanzee genome. What is your evidence that this gave you that?
Changes. The similarities and changes.
Similarities. Just because something is similar,
let me tell you something.
The other, does it?
I do not know the exact process of how they judge one from other. You see, I just read the theory of evolution and looked at evidence of it.
Did you question
and
it?
see exactly so. And now let me.
How did you get this species came from that species when there is only a genetic similarity?
I'm not a doctor or I'm not a genetic.
But you accepted
genetics.
it on blind faith. On blind faith.
No, you cannot say on blind
faith.
So
how did you accept it?
Okay, I'm telling you. When I read
genetics are 99% genetically similar to the
chimpanzee.
No, chimpanzee.
50% similar to banana.
So does that mean I came from chimpanzee?
Yeah. Not chimpanzee though. Pre-apes.
How much similar are we to a chimpanzee?
I think about 98% genetic. Yeah.
You know why
you could say 93%.
Do you know why I say that?
Yeah.
How did we map all the human genome with all the chimpanzee genome? Or did we only have 2% of non-coding DNA with some of them, and out of this we tried to map it?
Okay.
You haven't really gone into this study.
Mansur, this is what I'm trying to say.
Really fooled and misled by everyone else.
Now you're trying to assume. That's fine. Okay. I don't mind. I get it all the time. I have no problem with it.
No,
what I'm trying to tell you
Hear me out. Right now, go into any of the websites, whether in Top Origins Archive or any of the websites by Richard Dawkins or Nurse, whoever you like, right? Go find the paper that they have put forward from scientific journals where they have mapped every single.
No,
you said you have read, right? Maybe I'm the one who hasn't read, so you should be able to provide the evidence. Show me where they have mapped. You know why it's impossible to map like this? When you read and investigate, you'll find out.
They are mapping now.
You have already accepted they are 99% similar. I'm challenging you that 99% or 97% or over 90%, giving you a quarter of right? It is not based on comparing 100% or 100%. it was initially based on 2% of non-coding, and that itself was part of this 2%. Right?
You have something. You have got something. Look, you have got something. Yeah?
I can show you the paper which
that is fine. You've got something. Now you know better than theory of evolution. Why would you not write a paper to counter it? And then I would believe it.
Do you know what happens? Evolution is not a problem with religion. If evolution happens, of course, I can be a believer in evolution. It doesn't have any effect in my belief whatsoever.
You are lucky, but I'm telling you, you cannot. Mansur, you know for yourself, and I know for myself. That in a Muslim society, you will say you believe in evolution, and the shit you're gonna get.
What I'm pointing to is evolution has become a dogma, and